Welcome to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, the daily talk show with the voice of Penn State football and men's basketball. You never know what special guest may stop on by any given day. Now here's the man of the hour, Mr. Steve Jones.
All right, great to have you with us on the show today. Great to be back live in the studio after making the trip to the West Coast last week. President's Day was yesterday.
How was the Pacific Northwest? How was Seattle during the parade? How was it?
Dick Girardi took the train because he wanted to go see the facilities over at Washington, at the University of Washington. And he said when he got back on the train to come back to the hotel, he told me, he said, Steve, it was Tokyo.
Whoa.
Because when they had the original parade when they won the Super Bowl over the Broncos in the Meadowlands, they had 700,000 at the parade. There were a couple things, I guess, with that parade that Seattle kind of lost control over. So it wasn't as smooth. This time they understood how to do it, and they had over 1 million. I mean, it's not like Philadelphia last year where they had 2 to 3 million.
Yeah. But then again, nobody is Philly because Philly is psychotic.
Yeah, but also Seattle's a smaller city. I mean, it's but they had over 1 million. So Dick and I walked down there because Penn State played Wednesday night, and the parade was Wednesday. We went down there because we drove. On the way in, we saw the ballpark and the stadium, but we wanted to go down and walk around it a little bit. So we went over to T-Mobile Park where the Mariners play, and then Lumen Field where the Seahawks play. They're right next to each other. And it is unbelievable how clean the streets were. Yeah, I'm talking like this is like less than 24 hours after they had this thing. It was pristine down there. So that was really impressive they did that. Shoot around was on Wednesday morning, and I went over to shoot around because I needed to get Mike for the pregame show. And Dick had already gone over to see the facilities, but I had to do some work in my room. I couldn't go. So when we went back for the game, the bus lets you off on one side, then you walk in, and the stadium's actually on the other side. And I said to Dick, I said, we got here early. I said, I got an hour before we're even on the air. I said, I'm at least going to walk over and see it. I said, I'm going to go back there in November. I said, I'm just going to cut through here and go out the outer door here and just go see it. Well, I go down, and there's this door open. Okay. I'm talking like not an outdoor, like a door, and one of the interior doors open. All right, let's just walk down here. It's in the same direction. Well, it takes me down into a tunnel. Well, I'm walking down, and I look over, and there's the Washington football team meeting room. Okay. Kept on going, a couple other things. Boom. All of a sudden, I walk out. I'm standing in the end zone. It's the team entrance tunnel that connects both the basketball arena with the football stadium. Now, the area where they have the boats and the tailgating looks pretty big on TV, doesn't it? No.
Not that big?
No. It's kind of like McCovey Cove. I tell everybody about McCovey Cove all the time. We go there and go, it looks gigantic on TV. Like, and when you're there and you're standing there on the dock, no. It's not quite as big. Which is fun. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
So you'll be there this fall.
See it in November. There's nothing like Mount Rainier is unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. It's over 14,000 feet. Just majestic, beautiful. Mount Hood is really nice as well outside of Portland. The intriguing ones when you're driving down the highway and you see Mountain Peak, and then there's this one like this. It's Mount St. Helens. It's like, okay, all right. Nah, it looks like there's a little damage there. It's now they've turned it into a park. I don't think the park gets that close to whatever. But, I mean, so I'd never been there before. It was great. Beautiful, beautiful area. We had breakfast at down at Public Market on Pike Street, right on the water, which was really nice. Did that. Then Eugene was really beautiful, and I'll tell you, the Hayward Field, which is the track stadium,
the best track stadium considered that in like the world, like modern facility, the number one, everything.
Unbelievable. So of course it's all locked up. So what did Dick and I do?
You walk in.
Yes. Because for whatever reason, it's like one of those days, I was always the one that could find the open whatever, door, gate, because we went into MacArthur Court, and like, we're like, yeah. Dick's like, try there. I said, well, let's try this one. Oh. Right. And we walked in. Couldn't get into the arena, though. That was all locked up. A lot of classrooms there. It's where Oregon used to play basketball. It's where Dick Harder coached. But when it came to here, same thing. We're like, locked. I went, oh. And so we walked in. There's a camera there. And you know what I did?
Yo.
I went, yo. I waved at it. Kept on going. Took a couple of pictures. It's really spectacular. Like, wow. Right, it's right in the center of campus. So, yeah. And I had to see that. But, yeah, that's the trip.
And
they split on the trip. They played really well defensively on Wednesday night. And in the first 7 minutes of the game on Saturday, they played the same way, except they played better offensively. They had a chance early to go up double digits. And then they had 3 consecutive possessions where they went sideways. Like live ball turnovers. Like, what are you doing? And immediately Oregon gets right back in the game. And Penn State's defense from that point, the last 33 minutes, suffered. Suffered. That's one of the issues with young teams is that if something doesn't quite go right, it seems to affect every other element of the team.
It feels like it's almost an avalanche that starts out of just a snowball, but it snowballs so fast.
Well, but then all the weird things happen, and all of a sudden you come down the floor and you get a stop and a score. You're in front in the second half. Well, they came down the floor and Oregon missed the shot and got boxed around. Oregon got the rebound. Missed another shot. Oregon got the rebound. Then finally they scored. So instead of getting the rebound and going the other way with a chance to take the lead, which then steadies the ship, it's like it's stuff like that. Having Biddle back is a big deal because Biddle,
he's a consistent center. He's there.
Well, he does everything well. He always take away the second game. Always. When a guy's coming back from an injury, always expect 9 times out of 10 that it's going to be mediocre. First game, they usually come out adrenaline pumping the whole thing. Well, then suddenly your legs are like, and your mind are like, okay, gee, we played that game. Now my body's telling me that And so Biddle had a really good game against Purdue. He did not play well against Indiana, but that wasn't a surprise to me. It was game 2. I've talked about this with Penn State players. I'd see this with everybody. So I expected him to play well on Saturday. He passes well. He's a team-oriented guy. He's good inside. He's a good rebound. He does everything really well. He is an older Hannes Steinbach, except Steinbach has more talent. Steinbach has a beautifully understated game where he's a good shooter. He's a good rebounder. He runs the floor. He's a good passer. Steinbach is going to be, in my opinion, he has a chance to be one of the top 15 players taken in the NBA draft.
I believe currently expected to be around that lottery range. He's not considered at the top of the lottery, but he's in that, I'm going to get into the lottery 15,
I said 15,
20.
Yeah. Right. And like he's 6'11", could really play. Well, Biddle's just an older version of him, but not quite.
He doesn't have the ceiling.
Right. And getting him, because if they don't have him, to be honest with you, they don't have him, Penn State wins the game. Yeah, okay, because all those open threes, and some of them were in part because he got the ball out to them. And you have to double Biddle. If Biddle's not in the game, you don't have to double anybody.
No.
So you have to double him because he's that good. Well, that means you've got to give up something somewhere to do it. If he's not in there, see, that was the biggest problem they had when he was out. Nobody's doubling anybody. They don't have anybody as a threat in the post. Stewart's not a threat in the post.
No.
Kwame Evans is a good player, not a great player. Right? So, but with Biddle there, you have to double with him. So they got a split. I think most people did not expect a split. Most people expected them to get swept in the West Coast. They didn't.
They got one.
Right.
Their first road win.
Right. So now they've got Rutgers tomorrow night. And Rutgers did break through and did beat Maryland on Sunday. It is a team where Penn State's rebounding is going to have to be on point, because this is a team that averages 12 offensive rebounds per game, technically 11.9. But 12 offensive rebounds a game. The missed shot is part of their offense.
Yep.
So you have to be able to move them out of the way to do it. Really good game last night, Iowa State, Houston.
Well, I wanted to go to the Big 12 as a whole, if you would let me.
Sure.
So we'll start there with last night's game, Houston, Iowa State. Iowa State pulls it out 70-67.
17-4 run over the final, 3.5 minutes at home,
and
to finally win it.
The first half, it was 43-40. The second half, they each scored 27 points. These two teams are legitimately good. Like, these are good teams. These are teams that I would expect to see at the later stages of March into April. That's where you're looking at now.
They are based on the rankings, two of the top 6 teams in the country. Okay.
And last night, the person I want to shout out is Nate Heisey, I believe. I may have gotten his last name wrong.
No, that's his sister plays for the U.S. Olympic hockey team. She scored yesterday. And then he hit the big shot last night for Iowa State,
where he got thrown the ball in the corner and put the shot up with. That was one of the fastest releases I've seen on a shot in a while. Where you're getting the ball and you're basically in the middle of your shot, waiting for it to come to just immediately chuck it up, nothing but net. And of course, Iowa State goes on to win this game at the end. Houston played well, but that was a heck of a basketball game.
It was a really good game. I mean, it was a game I was looking forward to. It was not, with all due respect to you, I expected Duke to run Syracuse out,
and they did.
But I thought running them out at home would be 10 to 15 points. They ran them out by 37. So I saw maybe a minute of that game. That was enough. This game I really wanted to watch. For some reason, I didn't want to watch snowboarding.
No.
And it lived up to everything. But the Big 12, they have thrown a lot into basketball. And right now, the SEC, the Big 12, and the Big 10 are the 3 best conferences in the country. And the Big East is sort of there, but not quite. The ACC's fallen down so far.
It's basically just a Duke plus whomever else happens to be good in a given year right now. Because UNC's having an okay year, but they're up and down. Clemson's up and down. Louisville, you never know what you're going to get. This year they're up, but they could be down. It has been a very up and down conference, the ACC. And you mentioned the Big 12. And the game I watched the most this weekend was Texas Tech versus Arizona, because I was really intrigued by how this game would play out. Of course, Arizona.
I had no shot at seeing it because I had a game, and then we drove back to Seattle after the game to catch a red eye.
And Arizona had lost their last game at Kansas at Fog Allen by 4, 82-78. They then take on Texas Tech. They had a 4-game stretch where it's Kansas, Texas Tech, BYU, Houston. 4 top 25 teams back to back to back, just in a row. And this, and Koa Pete, one of their better players, going to be an NBA draft pick this year. He gets hurt in the first half, sits out the back half of the first half, out for the second half. They played without him. This was just a back and forth game. Texas Tech played really well. JT Toppin and Christian Anderson were the 2 players for them. and Christian Anderson went 6 for 15 from 3, which tells you how the game was, where it was basically him and JT Toppin just trying to win this for their teams. They ended up doing so. And I wanted to, I guess something I've noticed watching the Big 12 teams is just how much more physical they seem to be. Where you're seeing like a JT Toppin is going up against some of the centers for Arizona with Krivas, Tobe Awaka, and it's just like it's a brawl. And Houston's the same, where they're they are strong. Tugler.
To be honest with you, it depends on who runs officiating in the conference. The ACC and the SEC, which they do share a lot of officials, just by independent contracts, they share a lot of officials. It's a region,
it's regionally
smart. Based. They are more of a wide open, more finesse conference. Don't put up with a lot of physical play. Meanwhile, the Big 10 and the Big 12, and the Big 10's never changed. I mean, the Big 10 has always been, hey, pounded, no autopsy, no foul, and the Big 12 has warped into that as well. It's interesting because Western officiating, the old Pac-10, Pac-12, was very much a finesse officiating conference. Every time I did a game out there, you could see right away the difference in how it was officiated. And I've done a lot of games out there in my career. And you're like, yeah, there's a difference. Well, the ACC and the SEC have adopted that. The Big 12 and the Big 10 still believe in post play, still believe in the physicality of the game, while adapting to the rules. In other words, the rule now is, hey, block charge, hey, 90% of them are blocks, right? Which is exactly where it was 5 years ago, except they kept calling charges. Like, stop it. Dick and I have talked about this 1,000 times. Block charge, 90% of them are blocks, right? Meanwhile, you do a game, and all of a sudden, like, 50 to 60% of charges. Well, no, that's not the right call. No, but I'm saying they've adapted there. As I've already talked about on the show, there is now also a loosening of the traveling rules. Where they did that 3 years ago. And I swear to God, you try to explain this stuff a million times to people, either on shows or in groups or directly. Like, you ask yourself sometimes, then something happens like the Mingo play, and they're like, oh, it's like, I tried to tell you 3 years ago. Like, there's some days where, honest to God, I feel like I'm wasting my time. No, I'm serious.
No,
there's some days I feel like I'm absolutely wasting my time with people.
I know.
Where I sit back and go, I told you this 3 years ago. I wasn't listening. Well, of course you weren't listening because you're just too busy being opinionated. Right? Just stop it.
I would like to.
Okay?
Yeah.
But they've loosened those rules up, and so now, now you got in the Big 12, they still will promote physicality, especially in the post area, and that's the same thing in the Big 10. They promote physicality in the post area. But the big story in the Big 12 right now is not how great the games are. It's at the bottom.
It's Kansas State and Jerome Tang.
He's suing.
Yes.
And not only that, his attorney is Tom Mars.
And so let me get the story out here, which is that Kansas State fired Jerome Tang, they said Sunday night.
For cause.
The last place Wildcats had one win in the Big 12 this season. Tang was in his 4th year. He, after a game against Cincinnati on Wednesday, quote unquote, came out against his players and slammed them. He didn't hold back. He said it was an embarrassing loss. These dudes do not deserve to wear this uniform. There will be very few of them in it next year. I'm embarrassed for the university. I'm embarrassed for our fans and our student section. It's just ridiculous. It means something to wear a K-State uniform, means something to put on the purple and everything this university is about and why I love this place. They don't love this place. They don't deserve to be here. And the student section, multiple people were wearing paper bags over their heads to showcase and their contempt towards the Wildcats' performance because they have not been good.
Right, sure.
And so this happens.
Now remember,
Tang
3 years ago, he's in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, in the Elite Eight.
In the Elite Eight,
well.
played well, came very close to winning it and getting into the Final Four, and he is the toast of
everybody.
Of Manhattan.
Yeah.
So I've run into Jerome Tang before because he was at Baylor for a long time. So he was actually a part of the Baylor coaching staff when Penn State won the NIT. So I've been around Jerome Tang.
Yeah.
Everybody genuinely likes him as a person. But we are in this era right now, and it's really quite simple. Watch all the coaches' shots, except for Dan Hurley. Watch all the coaches' shots in football, basketball, pro and college. Somebody does something stupid out there. Somebody does something, I mean it, does something stupid out there. And do you ever see them react? Look at every coach's shot. They're always, look at the scoreboard. Guy will walk by him and they don't say a word to him.
Yeah.
Okay? Because nobody wants to be seen as getting on the players.
And it is very rare when it does.
Right? And when it happens, and this guy got on the players, excuse me. Okay? You can go through 1,000 scouting reports. 1,000 scouting reports. And if it does not matter what you know, you can give them a list of what you know. It only matters what they know.
Yeah.
And guess what? Some of them don't pay attention.
No. Kansas State's athletic director Gene Taylor said in a statement, quote, "This was a decision that was made in the best interest of our university and men's basketball program. Recent public comments and conduct in addition to the program's overall direction have not aligned with K-State's standards for supporting student athletes and representing the university. We wish Coach Tang and his family all the best moving forward." End quote. I now add into this. I don't think you wish him the best if you fire him for cause and try to essentially not pay him $18 million of buyout money that you would owe him if it wasn't for cause.
Well,
because
with Tom Mars as his attorney, he will get the $18 million.
He's owed $18.67 million remaining on the deal.
He will get the money
on the extension that he's got through 2029.
Because the bottom line is, they fired him now because they used the comments to get rid of him because they're not winning.
Yes.
Okay. We are in an era. And I do not know the composition of the Kansas State roster. Number one, he is the one that put together the roster. So let's start with that. So in all fairness, he put together the roster. But we have so much player movement today. Like, the weird thing is, how loyal are you to the institution when you're constantly changing over? Like, I've always talked about the Charlie Moore example with Miami, and I'm doing I think it may have been the last Big Ten ACC challenge Penn State played in. They played Miami, and Charlie Moore was their point guard. And Moore started his career at Cal, then he went to Kansas. Then he went to DePaul, and then he went to Miami. Now, is Charlie Moore a good college basketball player? Yes, he is. He is a good college basketball player. No getting around it. He really was. And he was very good that night at the Jordan Center. But I made the joke in the air. I said, geez, at least all the stops have been going west to east. I said, I looked at Dick. I says, does the Bahamas have a college basketball team? I said, he could go there as his fifth stop.
The current Kansas State's number one scorer, P.J. Haggerty, started his career in 22-23 at TCU. Spent one season there, then went to Tulsa for a season with the Golden Hurricane. Then after that next season, went to Memphis for this past season. Then this year, he's now at Kansas State. 4 schools, 4 years. It's part of what college basketball is. I'm not faulting him. He's currently putting up 23 points
we
per
can
game.
never fault people for what they're doing. No, because the system is whatever.
It is the system the way it is.
And look, because the NCAA has lost control of the system. But you can't. I mean, have I ever heard of coaches taking away gear? Yes. Across the country.
Jason Tatum talked about it on a podcast of Coach K. They lost a game they shouldn't have to somebody. I forget who they lost to, but he said Coach K afterwards basically, like, all of their gear was out of their lockers. T-shirts. No T-shirts, no nothing. They had to come in and do drills basically the entire day. Right. And they did drills, and then they won their next game and they got their stuff back in their lockers, the extra gear and stuff that Duke gives them.
That's happened, not always, but it has happened at times. Right? And so what he was threatening to do is something that in a bygone era had been done, but is no longer considered acceptable because you can't, you can't criticize the players. No. And they're all 1-year rentals.
I think it was the UAB coach said something this weekend along the lines of, you are all getting paid more than every single member of our staff, but at least we could make a layup. Like something along the lines of make a layup, please, to his team, because they went like 11 for 20 something for layups. And it's like, at that point, you're bad. That's bad.
Right. But this is permeated toward, in some areas, toward fans who will make comments on talk shows or Instagram or boards or something like that. It's always the scheme's fault. It's always the coach's fault and the whole thing. They never blame the players either. Right? You sit there and go, excuse me, they're playing the game. Right? Again, it's not what the coaching staff knows. Every coaching staff sits down and they put out a game plan for them. And, this guy goes right. This guy you got to make sure out here. He's a Waldo. We're going to, in other words, right, there's a reason he's open. We're going to use you to double because he, they go through all this stuff. Every single player. All of them. Right? And then they get in the game and you go, that's not what I told them. Because it doesn't matter what you know, it's what they know. Yeah. And part of the deal is when you have so much changeover is that all these players are coming in, and instead of being integrated in the system where now they're in their second, third year, right? Things are now like they can tell you off the top of their head about, hey, coach, no, I think it would be better if I did it this way. And the coach will look at him and go, you know what, Mike, you're right.
That's why when we talked about when Coach Rhodes came in here and he brought Ace and Nick, that's what we said, is that those two come in, immediately help everything because they're the ones on the court that know the system, know what's going on, and they can help implement it.
But when you when you're forced to bring in new players every year, you start from scratch, right? And you've got to figure out not just how they fit your system. You have to have whatever you do fit them. And it's not easy. Now you get into a situation like this. He's fired because of uproar. Excuse me, who's running that show in a fetal position? I mean, if you want to fire him because you're not winning.
That's one thing.
Right? That's one thing. Okay, you're going to change up. But then to take this and use that as an excuse that he got up there and said that,
You know, a player we've talked about and you've discussed.
But it's ridiculous. I think, see, what they did was they are absolutely entitled to get rid of him because they aren't winning.
Yeah.
Okay? They don't want to pay the 18.7. I got that. So now they come up with this using the press conference. Of course he's suing. He's going to win. Yeah. Right? Cause? Right? Okay. Which individual names did he call out? He didn't call out any individual names. Right? Now, did he handle he's mad when he's going in there.
Of course.
And to start with, so he's not happy. And so he spouts off about, they He's talking about the pride of the Kansas State uniform and the whole thing. I mean,
yeah.
Hey, he's been there the longest. He's been there 4 years.
You know, a player we've talked about, and I know you've highlighted as a player you enjoy watching, who has stayed at the same place but gotten better year on year. Ohio State's Bruce Thornton.
Yeah, I like
someone who stayed in the program. He's there 4 years, and he can help essentially not just be a floor general, but be someone who's helping to implement the system on the court, helping the players get better about it, because he can essentially direct people how he needs to.
He is a gem for Jake Diebler. Young coach, veteran point guard. They hung in pretty well with Virginia the other night because Mobley didn't play.
Like, don't you think it helps Iowa that they have Bennett Sturts, who's been with McCollum for years, to where now they know what they're doing?
You know how good Sturts is? I mean, Sturts was at Division II with Ben McCollum. Then he goes to Drake for 1 year with Ben McCollum. Now he's at Iowa.
3 years together, knows the system, knows what he's doing.
He's a terrific player. Because you look at the rest of the Iowa team, they're a lot of okay, except for him. He's exceptional.
Yep.
But he's the guy that's come up through the ranks with Ben McCollum. And McCollum knows him pretty much inside now.
Sturts knows McCollum.
Sturts knows McCollum inside now. And the other guys look to him as the extension of the coach, which makes a big difference. Thornton's very much the same way. And at some point, we need to find some structure. I've talked about this a million times, but I don't mind a player following a coach. That doesn't bother me in the least because, look, that coach recruited them to begin with anyway. So I don't mind that part. But at some point, somebody has to have some leadership chops in Indianapolis. I mean, you were out there with us at Purdue, right? Remember what I said when we went by the NCAA building? I said, nothing going on in there because they don't. Okay, they do a great job of running championships. I think they have to run 87 championships. So let's give credit where credit's due. They do a great job of running championships because running championships are difficult, very difficult, and they do a great job of it. But other than that, that organization's a mess. I mean, they are a mess, and and part of and we talk about running championships until you get to the women's championship. The women's championship is about as poorly run a championship as you have out there, and they blame everybody else except for the people who run it. Like, no, it's their fault. Okay, San Antonio was the women's championship committee's fault. Had nothing to do with the NCAA men's committee, which they kept blaming over and over and over again. The men's committee said, we found out this, and this. No, we don't need it. I know this for a fact. I'm not talking out of turn here. I know somebody who was there in the meetings. So this is not me talking out of turn. Well, okay, right. They consulted with the NBA. We don't know how to do this. Help us out. The whole thing. They offered the help. No, we'll do it. Okay. In terms of meals, everything else, no. Okay. Gifts. We'll order double. That'll just take care of. No, we want to order our own gifts. So then they get down there. Oh, our weight room is bad. Our meals are bad, and our gifts are substandard. Look what the men got. It was all offered to you. You said no. And I know this because I know somebody who was in the room. Okay? This is not me talking out of turn or guessing. Okay? Now let's go to the two-site thing that they do. All right? Was it Portland they were at where one of the three-point lines was wrong? Like, what are you doing? Right? Okay? Like, that building has such a disconnect. They needed to start with two things. Let's do something simple. One, in both college football and college basketball, and let's put women's basketball in there, you need a commissioner. You need a commissioner to start with. I don't care if it's Nick Saban, Mike Krzyzewski, whomever, or Tara Vanderveer. Right? a commissioner that gets the sport, understands the game, understands it from longevity as to the pros and cons. Next, once you have that commissioner's job right out of the gate is to identify a potential players association to negotiate with, to sit down and talk about rev share, to put guide rails in for everybody, because guide rails have worked in professional sports. You know, when free agency first came in professional sports, look at all the money and everybody. I mean, I'm talking about fans, media, everybody. Now it's an accepted part of it because over time they developed the structure of it. So baseball may have a luxury tax, but the NHL has a cap. Well, do you ever hear of any problems with salary structure in the NHL? No. You never hear about that, right? Do you ever hear about salary structure problems in the NFL? You really don't, okay? Because they know there's a certain part you can go to. The NBA gets a little messy, but they do have a max out number and so forth. This is what college football and college basketball desperately needs. They need guide rails put on and say, this is what we do. I don't mind if you earn extra money outside of the guide rails, because, but again, hey, let's be honest. Evidently, State Farm must feel that Patrick Mahomes is a big help to them selling insurance with Jake. Or Derrick Henry, who's in that as well.
Or Cooper Flagg they just got. I saw his commercial this weekend.
Right. Okay. Or Nationwide obviously feels former player Peyton Manning, who's now added in Saquon Barkley, among others, is a big help to them selling insurance.
Yeah.
Okay? If they aren't, then they get dropped. College players, I pointed this out years ago. I said that when they were going to be allowed to do these things, that there would be an initial rush
to just sign.
Sign on, okay, right. But there's got to be rate on return.
I need to see the deliverables. That's what we've talked about.
Okay, Diego Pavia. Let's take Fernando Mendoza, two of the top
quarterbacks in this past season.
This past season in the Heisman Trophy voting. Is either one of them doing commercials? No, because the people don't know who these people are.
No,
they don't. Rocco Becht is a terrific quarterback. Not
even Arch Manning's been doing commercials, and he
did Warby Parker.
But the fact that that's it.
But that's it. Now they may do something locally or whatever. That's fine. Just like you see the Penn State wrestlers show up on car dealerships, things. But it doesn't mean anything nationally to anybody. If Rocco Becht's a terrific quarterback, but Rocco Becht is not going to be in a commercial for pick national car dealership, Ford. Yeah. Okay, because it doesn't resonate nationally. College players don't resonate nationally, right? JT Toppin's a terrific player, but he's not going to do a TV commercial because the people doing the commercial have to.
They have to see the return.
In other words, there's got to be some impact. Like other people, okay,
his impact is in Lubbock. It's not outside of that.
Okay, JT Toppin, I know he's really good, but is that the reason I should?
It's like I'm not going to see Yaxel Lindeberg here in State College on an ad because it doesn't make sense.
Yaxel Lindeberg did a commercial for Ford. I don't think that's going to draw me to the Ford dealership, except for the fact I want to get an Explorer.
Like there is the only time you see an athlete do a commercial to that level is when they are a rare level of athlete. It is very rare.
Right. So now let's take it back to the original point to bring it back. That's where the caps come in because these guys and their ability to make money on the outside is really regional and local at best. All right, so it's be some money, but not like it should not be. Realistically over the top. That's where the clearinghouse comes in. You need to have barriers. Okay, football. Let's just pick round numbers here. All right, football. You can't spend more than $16 million. Men's basketball. You can't spend more than $4 million. Okay. Then anything else that you do to get to whatever next year will be 21.3. That's your business. You want to give money to volleyball, great. You want to give money to wrestling, great. You want to give money to women's basketball, great. But it has to start out with a commissioner in each sport, with a staff, to then identify through whatever the entity that the players choose to represent them, because they're going to need representation. Right? How long can you make contracts? Are you allowed to have deferred money? All right, here's the other part. You have collective bargaining. Guess what gets released? The contract.
Yep.
We know what Sidney Crosby's contract is. We know what LeBron James' contract is. We know what Sam Darnold's contract is. We knew what it was in Minnesota. We knew what it was in Seattle.
Whatever you are getting paid by the university, we should know.
Right, exactly.
At the same time, as we've discussed,
we should know the number.
When it comes to what Nick Singleton was getting from Gatorade, we don't care because we don't know what Patrick Mahomes gets from State Farm.
That's your
that's easy.
See, that's personal business. Gatorade, anything else, right? Chevy, doesn't matter. That's your personal business. You, your agent, your family, whomever you want to know. That's okay. But when it comes to what you're being paid by the university, part of the collective bargaining should be about medical. Part of the collective bargaining should be about the money part of it and how much is allowed to be allocated. And also, part of it has to be, I'm sorry, but your contract is going to be released. Right, and that's the way it is in every other collective bargaining. Major League Baseball is about to go into collective bargaining this year. We know exactly what Kyle Schwarber's making. We know exactly what Paul Skeens is making. And this is something where, sorry, if you want to be, they're just, and don't hand me the garbage that it's just kids. No. If they're going to pay you that kind of money, you have transitioned to adulthood. And as an adult in professional sports, which is what this is, they have to release your contract. All right? Now, right now, they don't have to do any of this. They get a free run at everything. So, in other words, when you look at the NFL, Le'Veon Bell got franchise tagged twice. Well, the Steelers are awful, they're terrible. No, it's actually your union allowed you to do that. It's your union that said, yes, I said that a million times.
It's like with the arbitration rules in baseball where Tarek Skubal is basically getting told by the Tigers, you stink, and they only paid him $19. He won the case and got $32 million.
And again, and I've talked to people in Major League Baseball, because of the spikes, I've talked to a lot of people over the years. They'll tell you arbitration is the worst process
it's absurd.
out
It's
there.
Your team is literally telling you why you're terrible.
Right, and they said it causes more hurt feelings than any other part of the system out there. But again, it's all part of it. If you're going to make the money, you've got to cap it, because you need to have competitive. Okay, part of capping money like that is to everybody gain some control over finances, but at the same time, a competitive balance takes place. And the competitive balance part is really important. And so you talk about Kansas State. I have no idea who the big donors at Kansas State are. None. Bill Snyder. I talked to Jake Waters. Jake played quarterback for Bill Snyder at Kansas State. I said to him, you play for the old man? He goes, oh, yeah, Steve. He said he loved him, right? But what Bill Snyder did at Kansas State was remarkable. They're in the middle of nowhere. They're in Manhattan, Kansas. He made them relevant, okay? He made them relevant, okay? Kansas State basketball has had some good years. Right? Remember, Blackman played for them, went to the NBA. Orlando Blackman played for Kansas State. He went to the NBA, played with the Mavericks for years. They've had some good players over the years, and they've had some good years in basketball. But how sustainable is it in this particular atmosphere right now? Hey, remember Denzel Pack?
Yes.
Denzel Pack had been, I think, at Kansas State. Right? And then he transferred to Miami. And it was the 2-year deal, $800,000, $400,000 each year, plus a car. Denzel Pack is now currently at Oklahoma State, if I recall.
Or Nigel Pack.
Nigel Pack. Okay? Nigel Pack. Do I have it right? Kansas State, Miami, Oklahoma State?
He's at Oklahoma.
So he's at Oklahoma. Right? We're just, okay, when I look at a team in a game today, I look at everything. You know what I see? I see 13 free agents on that bench, and I see 13 free agents on that bench. And in college football, I see 105 free agents on that sideline, and I see 105 free agents on this sideline. You have to re-recruit your own people every year to keep them.
Yeah.
You have to re-recruit them. Remember how, you wouldn't remember this, but how exhausting it was for Bill O'Brien to re-recruit the football team when the NCAA said that every Penn State player was allowed to go anywhere they want without having to sit out. Oh, and by the way, the other caveat in the rule was, well, team's already 85. No, you want a Penn State player, you can go to 87. That's how corrupt that organization is, right? And they have done nothing except go to Congress with their hat in their hand saying, help us, help us, help us. Help yourself. They need to help themselves. And I think it would help them with Congress if they actually showed that they were helping themselves instead of sitting in a doggone field position and every once in a while in the field position put their hat up to a congressperson saying, please help us. Like, what are you doing?
Some other headlines in college basketball going on right now.
But again, the Jerome Tang, I mean, you can't criticize the players.
No.
You cannot criticize the players. And that is what it's come down to.
And a player in the Big Ten staying in the area, BYU player Richie Saunders, one of the better players.
He's a good
suffered
player.
A season-ending torn ACL in their win over Colorado.
That really hurts them because with all those two, that all-freshman backcourt, they're two NBA players there.
You have Rob Wright, who's their point guard, who's incredibly talented. AJ DeBonsa is going to be one of the top picks in the draft.
Okay,
and then Richie Saunders was their third.
But Saunders was the key with them getting to me going forward. Every time I watch a BYU game, right, when you need it, it's not the two kids.
No, it's him.
It's him.
He's the swing player. He's the guy who you trust at the end of it.
He's the senior.
Yeah.
He's been there. He's hit the shots in big games that they have not hit. It's just like I'm watching every time I watch Kansas. Like Peterson, I don't get.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't get it.
No.
Right? The NBA labels guys top pick, right? And we've seen with the G League, Ignite guys, and so some of the people they get. The NBA is a messed up league because they are very poor at evaluating talent. Very, very poor. They really are. This guy is a surefire. I'm like, watch him go. I don't see it. I don't get it.
And I think
some guys you see it. Some guys you see it. Like Cooper Flagg, you can see it.
I don't even include the talent evaluation. I include the talent.
The league's a mess.
The talent coaching in there, where we talk about it a lot with the NFL. And we're going to have a discussion at some point about Fernando Mendoza, and I really want to have this discussion. But it is the idea of you bring a player in, and do you have the system around them? Because in basketball, especially NBA, it is a more star-driven thing where you need a really good player unless you are the 2004 Detroit Pistons to win a title. You got to have someone real talented. And it's tough to get that talent, so everyone tries to throw their bodies at it to get, if a Peterson could be the top talent, they want to get him. Or if it's DeBonsa, or if it's Boozer, or if it's insert player here, they want that guy because they need the person. And the problem is you kind of can't win unless you have them, which is why when the Mavericks throw away Luka Doncic, it makes no sense.
Okay, except let's look at the last two champions. Oklahoma City last year, Boston the year before. You know what the two of them happen to be? Really good teams.
Yes. At the same time, they do also have the top talent. They have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, one of the MVP. The Celtics have Jason Tatum, top 5 player in the league.
Yes, but there's too much. Like it's Brown, it's Tatum, it's Brown, but they got Derek White. Oh, and they got a different kind of player when he played in Porzingis. Right? Oh, and they got an Al Horford
and Drew Holiday.
Right, and a Drew Holiday was a terrific defensive guard. Like in other words, they were put together as a team. Right, and that's one of the elements. I've gone back. Everybody's, the dream team, it's so easy. Except when you look at the composition of that team, they actually put together conscious effort to put a team together. Then the NBA started doing all-star, just like an all-star mentality, like they did in 2004. They didn't win. right? You have to put together teams.
It's with the other teams.
Right? And the NBA does a terrible job of putting together teams because I want to get 3 great stars. Okay, well, what about the rest of the guys?
The reason that the Miami Heat worked when LeBron went after the second year was they then built it around them and said, okay, well, you took a pay cut. We're going to use the extra money to go get Mike Miller, who's an incredible three-point shooter. We're going to get Ray Allen.
Yeah, but they also have Mario Chalmers, not a star, but a good, solid, okay? When I need to shoot, I'll shoot, but I know there are other people I'll pass. Udonis Haslem.
Who is the center for
Okay, Haslam would do all the dirty work.
What did the Warriors end up doing? They had Draymond, Steph, and Clay, and they said, we want someone who can do everything and be the leader in the locker room. And they went and got Andre Iguodala. There's a reason they got him, and there's a reason. I know Max Kellerman said the thing, if death beams are pointed at the earth, who do you want? And he said, I want Iguodala. It wasn't the right person to say. At the same time, the logic of his brain was like, he's the guy who I trust because he's the veteran in the room who's been there. May not have done that at the time, but he knows how to be there, and that's kind of the point. Is getting the guys to fit around the stars.
The stars do the spectacular, but cannot win just doing the spectacular. You need to have a team where you've got people that just go out and do their job. Andre Iguodala at a high level did his job, right? Draymond Green talks a lot. I'll be honest with you. He is no star.
No.
Right? He is not. Is he? Do I think Draymond Green's a hard worker? Yes, I do. Do I think he's a good passer? Yes, I do. A good rebounder? Yes, I do.
Defensively great.
Is he a star? No. Right? But he was important to them winning. Now, he would, and there would be others that would sit there and go, how dare you say he's not a star? No, I think I know what a star is. I've done this a long time.
You are exceptional at one incredible skill, in the case of a Klay Thompson.
Or multiple skills.
Or multiple skills.
Okay? In other words, Green is a really good rebounder. Green is good at getting the body on somebody. Green's a good passer. Okay? Every once in a while he can step out and hit a 3. But there's certain skills that he brings to the table that, like, Steph Curry does not bring to the table.
No.
Okay, Steph Curry's not going to be a rebounder. He's not. That's not his job. His job is to shoot. He's a good passer, and Steph Curry's also the single. You talked about layups earlier. Steph Curry is the single best I've ever seen at layups in the NBA.
Oh my gosh!
Ever.
He gets to any angle, any spot, and can make the layup.
Best I've ever seen at layups. I mean, and he shouldn't be based on height. Nope, he does. He is outstanding.
Speaking of layups,
but the NBA does a lousy. The NBA. When they got in trouble, and they've never bounced back from this, in my opinion.
Tim Donaghy?
No, actually they survived Donaghy. They handled that pretty well. I mean, I think they handled it right. It was the Daryl Morey thing with China. At that point, a lot of people are like, "Wow, why are you bending over backwards?" Like, I know there are important markets all over the world. But they handled that all wrong. And ever since then, they've made one mistake after another. They can't get a handle on tanking. They can't get a handle on it.
And I know Adam Silver talked about it this weekend.
They
it
can't
was a
get
whole discussion
They
point.
can't get a handle on expansion. Right? The TV deal, to their credit, and here's the one, like, they knocked it out of the park. I mean, to the point where the NFL right now is internally furious with the NBA deal. You want to know why?
Because it's a heck of a lot of money, and there's going to be money taken away from someone.
No. Okay, partially yes, but Sunday night NBA. How much are they paying for that contract? You know, to go with what they do on Tuesdays. $2.7 billion a year. What do they pay for Sunday night football? $2 billion. Okay, you don't think the NFL is sitting there on Park Avenue saying, "Whoa, hold on." So 17 of the top 20 programs for the year
was us.
The year are NFL Sunday night games. And we're getting less money than the NBA. That's all about timing because the NFL contract was done first. We're getting, then the league that gets 1.8s, when we're out there getting 30s and 40s on ratings. Right? That's why in 2029 you will see a renegotiation where the NFL opts out of the TV deals and renegotiates in part because of the NBA deal.
And I want to wrap up real quick with one more college basketball note, a college basketball centric show. I saw the Providence St. John's play where Duncan Powell goes up and it's listed as a hard foul on Bryce Hopkins. Flagrant 2, gets ejected. I know he was suspended. He's been suspended 3 games.
Yeah, I didn't
2 by the university.
I still haven't seen the play.
I will show you afterwards. He's suspended 2 games with the university and 1 the NCAA. The rule is if you get a flagrant 2, you're suspended for the next game. So he's out for the next 3 games. He has 1 game or 2 games afterwards where he can play again. How it's only a 2-game suspension, I don't know. Because he basically goes up and just rips Bryce Hopkins down. Doesn't go for the ball, doesn't swing at him. Didn't
one of them used to play for St. John's?
Bryce Hopkins used to. So Hopkins was at Providence, transferred to St. John's, is now there, and this happens. But it's not even like one of those like dirty foul things where it's like, okay, that's a dirty foul, flagrant or flagrant 2, you're out of the game, 1 game, whatever, done. This was just, it started a literal brawl where 7 players then got ejected after all said and done in the game because, and I'll show you it afterwards, and we'll talk more college basketball over the next few days. A lot more is coming up, a lot more is happening. I know tonight Michigan and Purdue play each other, 2 of the top teams.
Yeah, it's on Peacock, so nobody will see it.
Yes, you are correct in that one. I also know the NFL has franchise tags coming on over the next few days. So
Kenneth Walker is not going to be franchise tagged.
Walker is not being franchise tagged because they need to re-sign players like Jackson Smith and Jigba, amongst others. So it is going to be a next few days of craziness in sports.
My question is to people who love sports. Mm-hmm. What do you enjoy more? The off-season, trading deals, ins, outs, or the games?
Thank you for listening to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, a 7 Mountain Media production. Come back at 11 every weekday for analysis of the latest happening in the sports landscape. From college football to European soccer, Steve and Kyle cover it all on Sports Talk with Steve Jones.